We'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. This is a follow-up in a sort of way to our 2006 interview with Black Panther Pete O'Neal in or near Arusha in Tanzania. And this is Mama C, Charlotte O'Neal, here in Baltimore. And there is an upcoming event this week that you will be the feature. Tell us about it.
Yes, there's one event is tomorrow actually. It'll be, I'm going to have to get this flyer real quick.
Okay,
so sorry
okay.
about that. I can't keep all these good.
And in case you're wondering,
Two flyers here. Oh yeah, here we go. The event tomorrow will be at 2640 St. Paul Street from 7 to 10. This is going to be a very unique event because it's the premiere of the screening of Me Wakati, which follows M1 of Dead Prez and Umi of POW, their journey to Africa. It follows and introduces them to East Africa. And I think many of you know who M1 is.
for those of us who don't, who is M1? He's an
M1
artist?
yes, he's an artist. He's one of the most conscious hip-hop artists in America, internationally known. He's with the group Dead Prez. Stickman is his partner. They came to our center, United African Alliance Community Center, and what they're doing, this is a film by Michael Wangugu, who is also the filmmaker who did Ni Wakati, another award-winning film. This film has already won a lot of awards, and it just premiered. It's on the festival circuit, but if you all come to this event tomorrow, this will be the first time it's been screened in Baltimore, and there'll be some hip-hop artists there, including Precise Science, and myself, Mama C, will bring some of my poetry. The tickets are from $5 and $10. Light refreshments will be sold, and this is also a very important event because the proceeds will go toward our Heal the Community bus drive. We're trying to get a bus for our children. We have a children's home, Leaders of Tomorrow Children's Home.
Where?
At our center,
Okay.
in outside Arusha, Tanzania, at the United African Alliance Community Center. We're raising 23 young Tanzanian children. About half of them are orphans, and all of them come from very financially deprived circumstances. We feel it's a blessing to be able to do what we can to empower these children and the young adults that we also work with at the United African Alliance Community Center. You said it's a follow-up interview from 2006. Things have escalated, brother.
Tell us.
Yes, we have about 100 and something students now. Daily classes, all our classes are free. All of our classes are taught by volunteers. We have classes in language, focusing on English because English and Kiswahili are the national languages in Tanzania. We have music production. We have the Peace Power Production studio. Several of my CDs come out of that studio. We also do video classes, tailoring, fashion, modeling, yoga, sports, health and nutrition, community theater, and all of our community theater focuses on teaching. All the art focuses on teaching because we feel that art is a very viable way to empower people. These 23 children that we are raising, they're going to be everything in life that they want to be, but we're going to make sure that they're artists first and foremost. One of them might become president of Tanzania, but they're going to be able to sing and dance and bring their verses to the community, and already they've been with us 2.5 years. Already you can see the marked change in them. Their confidence, they're able to deal with people from all over the world, you know. So myself, I'm an artist. I'm a visual artist. I'm a poet and a musician, a writer. If you got something to do with art, I do it. I can dance a little bit too. But I understand the empowerment that comes from art, you know. So Me and Brother Pete O'Neal, my husband, my comrade, my mate for 42 years, 42
Hallelujah.
blessed years.
Hallelujah.
We feel so blessed that his exile has become a blessing, not only for our family, but for hundreds, I dare say thousands of people who have gone through our program.
Does he ever get on a plane and like just sneak into the United States, go
No,
down to Disney
no,
World for
no.
5 minutes or so? I mean, I'm making light
I
of it.
know you are. I know you are,
Does he
brother.
miss here?
There are some aspects that he misses. The fact that when some of his relatives are sick or get married or whatever, he can't come. His father passed away, he couldn't come, you know. But luckily, I am able to represent him. I'm not in exile. I was in self-imposed exile for 20 years before I came back to.
Did you miss here?
There are some aspects that I did miss. Some of that is family reunions and things like that, and the good pizza they got here. Even though I'm vegan now, but back in the day I wasn't. And things like you and I can sit here. We can speak the same language as far as understanding our jokes, as far as
It
understanding.
takes work in another language.
It does. It does.
A little
So
too much work.
It's little things like that, you know. But
At the same time, share with us the world of so much that we don't know here. Tell us about that world.
it's a world that's very blessed. It's a world that is filled with peace. Despite what you see on the news, I look at the news sometime and you would think that all of Africa is full of killing and starving babies with big bellies and flies around their eyes. It's just not like that. Of course, there is some conflict in some of the, and that's another thing, a sticking point for me. When you say Africa, people look at Africa as one country.
It's over 50
But
countries.
forgetting there's about 53 countries, everybody with their own customs, their own language, their own president and government, their own money, you know. But so many people are so misinformed about Africa. And so when I go on my Heal the Community tours like I am this year, I started this tour the end of February. It's a 4-month tour. I go to many universities and community centers, even private homes, speaking about our work, but also making sure that people realize Africa is a blessed place in so many ways. Tanzania is a blessed place.
That's exactly why we do this news website, bemorenews.com, based in Baltimore, but we have been all the way as far as Tanzania. The purpose is to use media to tell our story in a more accurate fashion.
Yes,
When I do see world news or BBC, it's typically with a slant, and you have to use your other eye to see the other part that you're not being told.
That's right. And another part of my mission is to make sure that people realize that the philosophy of the Black Panther Party still lives. You know, the work that we do at UAACC, United African Alliance Community Center, is simply a continuation of the community service that we were doing as Panthers. And it's also a philosophy of going beyond race, going beyond national boundaries, and building peace, love, and solidarity. A lot of people, they don't realize that's what the Black Panther Party was
About feeding kids breakfast and making sure they learn something, right?
Yes, that, yes.
And protecting.
Protecting, but also building solidarity around the world. We work with all kinds of progressive people. We didn't care what color, but the way we were depicted in the news, you would have think that we were wild, rabid people who...
Mama, see, I didn't realize how many white people come to your center every year.
Yes, not only whites.
I mean,
people
from
all over the world, brother. And this is something else that is so good for the students that come there, for our whole community, because it makes them realize that they are a part of the international community. It makes them confident in dealing with people from all over the world. And that confidence is the thing that's going to change the world.
In Africa, there are many black presidents. Here in the States, we finally achieved our first black president. What does that mean? What did it mean there in Tanzania to you?
Well, in Tanzania, people were elated all over Africa. People were elated. We got a black president. I was elated too, but I also realized that even though President Obama is a black man, an African American, that really doesn't change anything. Why? Because to be president, you have to be a part of the system. You know, I did have a momentary.
You shed a tear.
I shed a tear.
It's okay.
I did. Even though I realized in the back of my mind that there really wasn't much that he could do to change this system, huh? Because he's a part of the system. There's no way he could have been president if he didn't agree to be a part of the system and what's going on. The reason I shed a tear is because I remembered our ancestors and what they had gone through, you know, and they had this vision and this dream that of equality or whatever, you know. But
well, what happened to that? And we're picking up on a conversation back in '06. I remember your husband sharing his encouragement with the hip hop community, but I also remember him sharing about some of the basic ignorance that we as African Americans have. He said he had a young person ask him, could the young person drive from the U.S. to Tanzania? You remember?
Yes, and that's very sad, and that's because not only is Africa not emphasized or even taught things about Africa in the school system, the whole world, the whole doggone world is being not taught, I think, by design. I'm told that even geography is not required in schools anymore.
And let alone gym class and music and art.
You know, so there's been a
gotta
dumbing down
yes.
of the education system
Yes.
here. There's been blinders purposely put on people in all communities, not just the black community, all communities, you know.
But we spend billions on bombs. I don't understand it. Does that? What am I missing?
I think that the powers that be know that if people don't have a perspective of what's going on in the world, they don't know what's going on in the world.
They won't get mad, they won't revolt.
Yes, you know, they won't, and plus they won't feel like they're a part of the world. They'll feel like they're just a part of their own small community, and that is so important to keep their turf and this and that limits one's imagination. You know, that limits one's hope that there is something else out there. And this is why our Heal the Community program that has brought young people from at-risk circumstances here in the States, and programs like Habesha, which is based in Baltimore, they have been able to bring young people to experience West Africa. That's why that's so important, because it opens up their mind. It lets them know that there's something else, there's another way of living.
Sister Charlotte, I love clothing and I love to go shopping. I'm just letting you know some of my flaws. But I've been to a lot of fancy department stores, but I have never seen a covering so beautiful. Is it Gucci that you have on? Is it Louis Vuitton?
This is pure Maasai.
It's not.
This is from the Maasai community. Matter of fact, why don't you get a shot of my ankles, brother? Let your audience see. Yes, look at that. These brass rings were wrapped on me several years ago by some Maasai women. I must say it took me a year to get used to them. Them bad boys used to hurt. But I was determined, because this represents a part of the Maasai culture that is slowly starting to fade away.
I still have my spears right in my coat. It's not going anywhere. They tell me that spear is used to kill lions.
Yes. These rings that I wear on my, I can't remove those because they're wrapped around there. So you know I have a hard time in the airport. But
Wow, I didn't think of that.
yes, and these too.
Okay.
These are also these two. They're from the
Okay.
Maasai community. So when elder Maasai women see me in Arusha and they see what I'm wearing, they come up and hug me
That's queenly.
because they feel that I am helping to preserve some of their culture. Now, I'm not of the Maasai tribe, even though I have these markings on my cheek. These markings were done in a special ceremony to honor my mother after she passed away, and also my ancestors, those that I know and those that I don't know, because the history was wiped out in slavery in Africa.
Well, we're gonna hold that thought. We're gonna pick up on the parts. I want to make sure we get all of this in.
Okay.
Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.